So 2016 has just started for the Smash 4 community, and off to a very strong beginning. We're going to be going to Genesis 3, I actually think it's the hardest Super Smash Bros. Tournament by far, even harder than EVO. I think it's the hardest, period. We have so much international talent coming out that there's so many players that can make top 8, and a lot of us are aiming to win the tournament, regardless of our best player Zero being there. We want to take him down. But what else is happening in 2016? At least for me, I've made a lot of choices and decisions and goals that I'm aspiring to achieve. And so I'm going to kind of give you a rough idea of what's going through my head for this year for myself. In terms of Genesis 3, prior to this event, I've been dealing with a lot of, issues outside of Smash Brothers that have really been keeping like a real hold on me, very stressful. So personally, while I've been practicing, I don't know how I'm going to do at Genesis. I always plan to take first, nothing more, nothing less, but I'm gonna just try my best and do what I can, but ultimately have fun. After Genesis though, there's going to be a lot of traveling. I'm going to Hawaii for KawaiiCon, so if you're gonna be there, I'll be there. I'm going to Japan for Umebura on May 21st. That's gonna be big. I can't wait for that. Ohio. I have more events. I have a lot of stuff I'm going to, but you guys should definitely try to invest time in traveling this year if you haven't or been able to in 2015, because Smash just continuously gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you don't want to miss out on a lot of these events. So go, trust me, you need to go. But there's a really big thing, and it's something that I've been really pondering for 2016, is that will I remain here on the East Coast? As you guys know, I have a house with my crew called The Loft. Again, don't ask what that means. But in June, the lease ends. And so everybody's thinking, do we want to do this again for a year? And for the most part, everybody's down. But the thing is, I have a very strong opportunity with my organization to further myself without a lot of distractions. And that seems to be what do I want to do in the future, for my life? And I can't see myself working anywhere that isn't in the gaming industry because I love gaming so much. So honestly, an aspiring goal of mine for the future is to possibly work for Twitch, maybe in the Smash Brothers division, similar to D1 and other members of the community that work for Twitch. And I don't think we have a Smash 4 representative, especially a player at that. And so, I'm thinking past the time of when I'm done being a competitor, what am I going to do in the future? And Los Angeles, basically California, is like the gaming capital. Everybody's there. If you want to work with gaming, that's probably the best place to be. And so, do I stay here at the Loft with my friends in New Jersey where I feel limited? Or do I further myself by moving out to the CLG house in June? And honestly, it's a very hard decision. Especially, I've grown up here on the East Coast my entire life. This is where I'm from. Brooklyn, New York, that's where it all started. But, all the relationships, the people I've met here, do I leave that behind temporarily or permanently? Who knows? It was very hard. And it's something that I'm still constantly thinking about. So for the month of February, I decided to stay out there for an entire month to see if I can deal with the separation, to see what it's like actually staying there for a prolonged period of time. I'd still be competing in Los Angeles or, just the California area, Southern California area, with all these other players for that month. But I don't know what to say in terms of, it's a very hard choice, but I feel like I am making the appropriate one by seeing, how it is, and to see if I can commit to this. And honestly, I'm leaning more towards doing it because I have to think of, the future. And my crew is behind me on it. They don't want to hold me back. And that's kind of what I needed to hear from them in order to help me make the decision. Because it was hard enough. I was really thinking of, saying, screw it, I'm just going to stay here. But I have so many more opportunities in LA to do what I love and to make what I love into an actual strong career for the future. And this is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about competing, creating content, and working in the gaming industry when I'm done being a competitor. And so, you know, it makes me sad to say, but I'm probably not going to stay here on the East Coast. It's not a 100%, but I'm leaning towards more likely leaving Tri-State and moving to SoCal. Doesn't make me a traitor, because while I'm from the East Coast, my heart always remains in the East Coast. When I play for the East Coast, no matter where I am. Not to say that I won't want to make friends in SoCal or, you know, love their community, because basically when I go out there, I do have a good time, and I do like people out there a lot. But as a competitor, when I am playing the game on stage, or when I see my friends from Tri-State playing their hearts out, I'll always be on the Tri-State side. But in terms of business and my goals for the future, SoCal is the place to be. And so if I end up moving there, it's gonna be a wild ride. And honestly, all the support is needed, because it'll literally be me starting over. And I just need to see how it goes. But aside from that whole big shebang, I really just want to get back into the swing of going to more local events here around Tri-State, or just in general. For a while, I stopped going to locals and just focused on going to regionals and majors. But now that the stuff with, you know, my family outside of Smash is kind of dying down, I have more time to actually really focus and, you know, focus on performing, things of that sort. So you'll see a lot more of that from me, guys. In terms of content creation, you've been getting a video a day. I still plan to do that. My goal for 2016 is to break 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Seems like a really hard goal to do, but with patience, I can break it or get close. And honestly, I'm just gonna shoot for breaking it, nothing less. In terms of Twitch, my goal is 500 subscribers on Twitch. That's gonna be difficult, but that's also something I wanna do. And I'd like to win a major. And I'm gonna keep practicing and making my game stronger to actually make that dream a reality. Because I think one of my weaknesses as a player actually has been majors. On majors, I don't know what it is, honestly, but I seem to just not do as well as I want in major events. I've top 8'd SmashCon, smashed the record, yeah, I got second, but like major events like Evo, things like that, or even Apexes back in Brawl, I found it really difficult to perform the way I wanted to each time. And you know, important majors only come around once a year, and it sucked, because while I do have the skill, what is it that's holding me back from maybe obtaining first place? And simply, I feel like that just means I need to get better. And so I need to apply myself and continue to do better, to not only work on, you know, achieving better skills, but to regain consistency that I had at the beginning of Smash 4, or to build off of that and just make consistency stronger. And that's really where I see myself going in 2016, and those are the things that I'm really focused on, as well as traveling a bunch more, because while I did list a couple places I'm going to, I have stuff written down of where I'm traveling to, but I forgot other places, guys. But I'm gonna be around, and I might be in your region, so please come out, because I'd like to meet you. But simply, guys, that's it for 2016. Hopefully you guys get to follow me on this adventure, and let's see where it goes.